Yo me haré morir con los pocos que me acompañan. Porque es preferible hacernos morir como rebeldes y no vivir como esclavos.
Ay, Nicaragua, Nicaragüita, la flor más linda de mi querer, abonada con la bendita Nicaragüita, sangre de diamante.
We often think of history as something found in books or whispered in archives, but sometimes history is a physical weight, a little piece of the world torn from its foundation. Look at this wall. It is rough, raw, and violent. It is a concrete slab excavated from the public space of Nicaragua, bearing a defaced silhouette of a man in a hat. To the artist Ernesto Salmerón, this isn't just a construction dervish, it is a relic of a revolution. In Nicaragua, the walls did more than hold off roofs. They spoke, they preached, and eventually they were silenced. Today we're looking at the golden age of Nicaraguan muralism, the crusade to erase it, and the artists who decided that some ghosts are too heavy to stay buried. To understand the wall, we have to understand the man on it, Augusto César Sandino. In the 1920s, while political elites were surrendering sovereignty for personal gain, Sandino led an army of 30 peasants against a superpower. He wasn't fighting to be a president, he was fighting for the dignity of a nation. He was assassinated in 1934, but his image became a seed that lay dormant for decades.
Poner los tres ahora en la misma dirección aquí. Tres aquí, tres allá. Arriba.
General de Quinomo y de los hombres libres que luchan por su nación para obtener la paz y la liberación.
When the Sandinista National Liberation Front overthrew the Somoza dictatorship in 1979, they didn't just change the government, they restructured the national soul. They flipped the hierarchy. The invisible peasant became an ideal citizen, humble, hardworking, and brave. And Sandino's silhouette became the shorthand for the identity, a black figure, a hat. That was enough to represent a country. In the 1980s, Nicaragua entered a golden age of muralism. In a society with high illiteracy, these walls became people's billboards. Murals replaced commercial ads, narrating the war, promoting health campaigns, and distilling complex political concepts into accessible scenes. This wasn't an accident. It was a strategic infrastructure for political education. It was heavily influenced by the USSR and Cuba. The Soviet Union, under Brezhnev, had its own construction tree of public art. An exchange program served as an exposing therapy for Nicaraguan artists. Through these walls, the revolution became an everyday visual presence. It stitched together a shared revolutionary common sense. But every revolution has an end, and every image has an enemy. In the 1980s, the FSLN lost the elections. The new local government in Managua launched what they call a cultural crusade to clean the city of propaganda. In reality, it was an attempt to physically destroy history. Between 1990 and 1993, city workers painted over nearly 300 murals with green and white paint. Walls were demolished. The goal was sanitization, to make the revolution disappear beneath a layer of boredom. This is where Ernesto Salmerón enters the frame. He understands that graffiti is, by nature, ephemeral. It is an event to be witnessed, not a product to be owned. Its eventual destruction is part of its definition. But Salmerón chooses to interrupt that. In his work, Out of War, he surgically removed a massive section of a wall containing revolutionary graffiti and installed it in the back of an old military truck. He turned the wall into a mobile archive. He didn't restore the graffiti, he preserved the act of erasure.
Just quoting this image triggers many memories for many people. You have family, you have friends who died with this idea.
He kept the gray paint, the scars, and the weathered texture. By placing this wall in a gallery, he creates a paradox, a site-specific artwork removed from its site. He proves that even when you paint over the past, the aura of the war remains trapped beneath a new paint. If you look closely at Salmerón's excavated wall, you will see the silhouette of Sandino as a whole where the face should be. Perhaps that is the ultimate metaphor for the Nicaraguan identity. There is no one way to see Sandino.
He was an icon for a new revolutionary movement in the 70s. There is no one way to understand Nicaraguan history. There is no one way to think about Sandino.
He is a figure of communism, of war, of revolution. But by leaving the whole, the wall leaves space for the people. Any Nicaraguan can look at the concrete relic and feel the face with their own. The original revolutionary idea may be fading, like the decaying materials of the wall. But as long as the relic exists, the dialogue continues. History isn't just what we remember, it's what we refuse to let be painted over.